Good evening. I'd like to call to order the Solano Community College District Governing Board meeting on March 18th at 6:31. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please do roll call.
President Cargo Reed,
Here.
Vice President Wynn Greer,
Here.
Trustee Honeychurch, Trustee Kara, Trustee Thurston, Trustee Young, Trustee Boyce, Student Trustee Rodriguez.
Thank you. And do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I second the motion.
All right. It was moved by Trustee Thurston and seconded by Trustee Young to approve the agenda. Is there any discussion? All right. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? The motion was passed. Any comments from the public? All right. There are no comments from members of the public. We will recess for closed session and resume at 7 p.m. Thank you.
supposedly for your comfort.
Hello, how are you? We're going to reconvene for a regular meeting at 7 o'clock p.m. And report of action in closed session. There was no action taken in closed session. Are there any comments from the public? Okay, there are no comments from members of the public. Reports. Associate Students of Solano College. Dr. Abby. Hello, Gabby. Ballesteros? Welcome.
Is that good? Hello. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Great to see you all again. So I'm here to report on behalf of ASSC Associated Students. So this past Friday, Associated Students assisted with the TEDx Solano Community College Women event. It was such a great success. We had around 75 attendees attend. We had two of our very own professors as highlighted speakers part of the program. So Professor Gwen Gallagher and Professor Maria Bautista. And it was a student-led event by Angelica Ducalon, who is the ASSC Vice President, and then Kalina Gordon. She's the ASSC Diversity and Affairs Senator. And the theme was Leading Without Permission, and the speakers definitely embodied this, and the panel of speakers touch on topics such as how to reclaim power, how to reconnect with self, how to reframe and re-envision life and circumstances, and how to lead where and how others will follow. So it was such a great time. We had a reception after, so students got to mingle and meet the speakers, which was really great to see because they were just so excited. Additionally, the election period has begun for ASSC. So the candidacy packets are now available for students to fill out and run for the 4 positions. So president, vice president, legislative advocate, and student trustee. So far we have 3 packets, which is great. We're working on advertisement. The students are going to do some classroom visits to professors to get the word out. And finally, we're working with Assemblymember Lori Wilson for the town hall on April 16th. It'll be in the cafeteria. And it'll be on transportation, but at the state level. So we're just working on logistics right now. Once the flyer is ready, I will send that to Dr. Butler to disperse to you all. We'd love to have you all there and participate. But that's it for my report. If you have any questions, let me know.
Any questions? Well, thank you so much for your report, and we look forward to getting the information so we can attend.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next is the Academic Senate, Senate President Josh Scott. Hello.
Hello, good evening. First off, I was able to attend that TEDx event on Friday. That was wonderful, and just big thank you to ASSC for and Gabby for collaborating and creating that, and Denise Martinez and everyone else involved. It was really great. Otherwise, we most recently, last Monday, met in Vallejo. I told you all about this. This was a chance to get some important numbers and information about what's going on the Vallejo campus and to hear from students and faculty there. Some of the things that people really appreciated about Vallejo is the teachers are fantastic, as well as the staff, very helpful. The Falcon Flyer is something which I think a lot of students are really appreciating, being able to move from campus to campus. Some of the issues that we're still struggling with or working on, one is scheduling. This has been a perennial issue on the Vallejo, and I think also the Vacaville campus, at least since COVID, really trying to collaborate so we can build cohesive schedules that make sense to students, so they can come ideally, in the morning and attend classes all day. We just frankly, it seems like the consensus seems to be we haven't had the bandwidth to coordinate across divisions in that manner. But we were really hopeful coming out of it that we could utilize department chairs to really fill some of that. The idea of even having chairs meet during a retreat in maybe late summer so that we could really just make sure that we could build something that can work well. Because it can be very frustrating, I think, for students, understandably, right, to come, have a class here at the Vallejo Center, for example, then maybe there's several hours before the next class is available, at which point they might need to leave or they need to come to Fairfield campus. And the flyer is helpful, but is not as good as being able to stay on one campus. So this is something we've heard for years, but we're hopeful that maybe this year we can do something positive in that capacity. Also, food. Food is the other one that comes up each time. But again, I think Gabby's been working on this, which has been really great. And there's supposed to be this next tier of vending machines that will actually have things like sandwiches and salads, refrigeration, ice cream, even different things that are available for students. So it should move beyond the junk food kind of piece, which has been some of what's been there in the past. Otherwise, we will be meeting in Vacaville on April 13th. If any of you could attend, that'd be wonderful. It's the same sort of process of what we did in Vallejo, of hearing from students, hearing from faculty, getting a report on what's going on the campus, and just how can we support the Vacaville campus, what's the good word there as we're going. Also, at our next meeting next Monday, next week, the Senate, we're going to be coming back to, we've been working on our land acknowledgement, labor acknowledgement, and update on that front. Matthew Schweitzer has been working closely with Lisa, I believe, right, to make some real progress on this and her office. And we will also be looking at some information from the compressed calendar committee. So there'll be a chance for us to hear about that and just this or task force, I should say. This is a possibility of us, bringing our semester down to 16 weeks as opposed to 18, which is what the majority of the campuses in the area are currently doing. But we want to make sure we're really hearing from people across campus on this one. And that's why we really have developed over the last year a really robust task force, making sure there are faculty from each school represented, as well as administrators and others. That concludes my update.
Thank you so much. Are there any questions, comments?
I do have just one quick question
Yes.
there, Mr. Scott. You mentioned about April 13th, you'll be meeting on the Vacaville campus. What time does that normally happen?
That's at 3 p.m. It's 3 to 5 is the Senate meeting.
Great. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And I'm glad to hear that there are some ideas on how we're going to be able to provide nutrition for Vacaville and Vallejo, because our food here is amazing. We had a chance to try it and it's phenomenal. So
Yeah.
I appreciate you giving us an update, and hopefully we'll see you on the 13th.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. Council Superintendent President Dr. Kelly Sims Butler.
Thank you. The College Governance Council met on February 25th. The council reviewed an AI advisory committee proposal to establish a committee that will provide guidance on AI implementation across campus. We approved an update to Administrative Procedure 6115 for distance education, which is also on this evening's agenda as an information item, and we approved the 27-28 academic calendar. VP Corneliuson also brought two administrative procedures, one related to IT software change management for review, and the other was a technology security and generative AI standards administrative procedure for review. And we will be looking at that again at the next meeting. Regarding the superintendent updates, since my last update, we are actively engaged in faculty hiring to complete hire of about 13 positions. The college is continuing to prepare for the accreditation visit on April 9th. And then I wanted to highlight some activities. Some Gabby already mentioned, activities and events across campus. I just wanted to celebrate some of the offices and what they've been doing. Dean Watson Perez, Dean of Equity and Student Success, and Director of Student Development, Dr. Ballesteros, and associate students have been providing lots of robust programming for students, faculty, and staff for Black History Month and now for Women's History Month. The ANAPI students did an amazing job of providing activities for Lunar New Year. And Yusra Ghalib, our Dreamer liaison, organized a really nice Ramadan iftar event at the Vallejo Center. I believe we've had this event in prior years, and Yusra brought it back, and hopefully this will be an annual event. It was really an amazing community event, and just really creating space to come together was nice, given everything that's going on in the world. Kind of slow down and pause. The Education Foundation put on a successful crab feed on March 7th. Trustees Cargo Reed, Wynn, Thurston, Young, Voice were in attendance, and I would say that it was really fun. We have some silly photos. The Solano Community College counselors hosted their annual counselor conference, and there was representation from, I believe, almost all of the school districts across the county. The high school counselors were able to engage with student services and our counselors to learn more about what we're doing here, to also find out how they can support students interested in attending Solano Community College. And so it was a really well-attended and great event. I was able to attend for a little bit. Gabby mentioned this already, but I wanted to give another shout out. The Associated Students, Angelica Ducklin, Kalina Gordon, supported by Dr. Ballesteros and Denise Martinez, hosted the TEDx Solano event, Leading Without Permission. And the event was a heavy lift. I didn't want to miss the idea, because at some colleges, this is a program that the college puts on. So this was a really amazing event for the students, supported through Dean Watson Perez's office. The attendees also received TEDx branded swag from our makerspace and provided a custom sign for the stage. So it was a college-wide kind of coming together. So amazing event. Recognition and awards. We recently received recognition of the college's Asian American, Native, Hawaiian, Pacific Islanders Student Achievement Program, and an opportunity to participate in a special cohort program with the California Community Colleges Chancellor's Office. We're excited to share the work that we're doing here at Solano. They've been impressed by the students' ability to build community and working with our faculty. And we want to continue to advance that work. We are also celebrating part-time faculty Sheila Smith's recognition by the Foundation for California Community Colleges, receiving the 25-26 Hayward Award. I believe the day we got the email, Josh Scott mentioned it, but I wanted to just mention it once again, because we have shared it college-wide. But this is an award that basically demonstrates high level of commitment to students, to college and to the profession, and we really are so proud of Sheila receiving this prestigious award from the Chancellor's Office. And then our Solano speech and debate team, we just found out, won first place at the 2026 California Community Colleges Forensics Association State Championship Tournament, and we are really proud of them. We also had recognition of the team director, Douglas Mungin, who was honored with the President's Award for Distinctive Service in California Forensics, recognizing his leadership and contributions. And then 7 of the members on the team were inducted into the inaugural Lambda Phi Alpha Honor Society established by the organization. And so we had students who are recognized, and I was going to read their names: Mahari Wright, Francesca Franco, Javonte Fields, Lance Cohen, Tyler King, Abigail Gold, Megan Savage, and Monica Guerrero. So we really want to celebrate our students. They will go on to the national championships, but I don't know the date, but we want to continue to encourage them. And that concludes my update.
Wonderful. Yes, Trustee Ann.
Lord, I would like to see something like that in the local paper, so that we're not a best kept secret and the public will know what we're doing. There's people here are winning outstanding awards, second to none.
We are in the paper, so in the updates I will share again, but we did do a press release, and it was in several of the papers in the county for Sheila's award, for the Hayward Award, and then the students winning of the debate team that just got sent, I think today or yesterday. So
okay, I'll check those papers.
And I'll share the link when I see.
I'll check and see. Hope it's not hidden in the paper.
Sometimes it's in the online version. Yeah.
Thank you so much, and I agree. And let's definitely celebrate all the wins, Solano. So congratulations, and thank you for sharing that So we're ready to move on to consent agenda action items. All matters listed under the consent agenda are considered by the board to be routine and will be enacted by the board in one motion. There will be no discussion on these matters prior to the time the board votes on the motion unless members of the board, staff, or the public request specific items to be discussed and/or removed. Time will be provided before the vote for clarification questions without removing an item from the consent agenda. So, do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
That we approve the consent agenda as submitted.
I second that motion.
All right, it was moved by Trustee Marie Ann and seconded by VP Jackie Nguyen to approve consent agenda. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain? The consent agenda was passed. All right, non-consent agenda items. We're going to move on to Human Resources. Director Abate, you have the floor. Welcome.
Good evening, President Cargo Reed, members of the board. I will like to say that our faculty are making my job very easy related to these retirements because they have created their own system now to speak on their colleagues. So I am going to cede my time and allow our current Assistant Athletic Director, Acting Athletic Director, Allison Aubert, to come up and start the comments on our retiree, Darla Williams.
Wonderful. Thank you. Welcome.
Hi, guys. Thank you for inviting us. Good evening, trustees and Dr. Butler. My name is Allison Aubert, and I'm currently the Assistant Athletic Director. And I've worked and had the privilege of working alongside Darla Williams since her hire here in 2003. So we're here to celebrate Darla Williams. She joined Solano College as the women's volleyball coach and a kinesiology faculty member in 2003. And then she transformed an already strong volleyball program to an exceptional volleyball program. Under her leadership, and the team has captured 10 Bay Valley Conference championships. And then in the recognition of excellence, Darla herself has received the Bay Valley Conference Coach of the Year 9 times. And this is impressive if you compare this to all of our other programs. However, Darla's impact extends far beyond competitive success. She has made significant contributions to the kinesiology and athletics department through her work in curriculum development, student learning outcomes, program learning outcomes, the development of the public health transfer degree, and the addition of the beach volleyball program, soon to be celebrated when it opens. Darla has she was one of 3 full-time women when she got here in our athletics department. And historically, this is dominated by men. In that role, she served as a strong and influential voice for the women, advocating for those who were often underrepresented and unheard. And we appreciate Darla for that. While I could share much, much more about from a colleague's perspective, we felt it was equally important to highlight another viewpoint, one that reflects Darla's lasting impact on her student athletes. Therefore, we've invited members of her volleyball program to share their experiences. Come on in, ladies.
Wonderful. Hi.
She is surprised about this.
Come on in.
These are our championship women's volleyball players and on the current beach team as well as our indoor team. So come on all up, guys. So, no, she did not. And this was a hard secret to keep. So I know you guys want to hear from our student athletes. So Kaylee Reyes and Gianna Gintu, both who were our February Athletes of the Month and are members of our Student Athlete Council, our newly developed Student Athlete Council, will speak on behalf of the student athletes and how Darla has influenced their lives. So first, Kaylee first?
Oh, we're going together.
Go together, ladies. Come on up more, guys.
You can go right behind you. Helen.
All right. Good evening, everyone. For those who don't know us, my name is Gianna.
And my name is Kaylee.
And this is our last year playing for Solano Community College. What makes tonight bittersweet is that I've had the incredible honor of playing for Coach Williams for her final 2 seasons. Standing here is a little surreal because it's a little hard to imagine this program without the person who has been at the heart of it for several years.
Coach, when most people think of you, they think of the wins and all the banners up in the gym, which, don't get me wrong, is incredible because 8 consecutive years of being undefeated is truly an honor. However, to this team, it goes beyond that. Not only were you a coach to us, but you were our biggest cheerleader. And at most times, even a second parent who knew when tough love was needed, especially by yelling at us when we would have our brain farts. Like when Lily went up to push the ball over the net and completely missed it behind her head. Or when Kenzie went back to serve and the ball didn't even make it past the 10-foot line. Although I'm sure it was difficult and you gave us your fair share of yelling, we're all so grateful that you've had so much patience with us and that you could balance all of our bad moments with the good. Like all the times you would try to be hip and scream 6-7 with us. Or when you would watch us dance and occasionally join in on our circle just to show us how stiff you really are.
In your last 2 years of coaching, you didn't teach us how to pass better, serve tougher, or to hit harder. You taught us how to be teammates, lifting each other up through tough moments, facing pressure with grace, and bouncing back when life knocks us down. We'll carry your lessons of discipline, accountability, and endless resilience in our heart always. My favorite memory will always be our little facts moments, or even when you fell during practice 2 years in a row. But besides that, Coach Williams has made a huge impact on my volleyball career. You took an undersized hitter like me, who had to work twice as hard for this position, and you believed in me since day one. Even during my back injury, you still made me feel like I belonged on the court. I will always be thankful for the times you pushed me through my frustrations and reminded me that my height would never define my true potential. Not only have you shaped my game, you have changed the way I see myself, not as an undersized hitter, but as a competitor who is capable of so much more than I ever imagined.
And on my behalf, Coach Williams, I can't thank you enough for welcoming me back with open arms and seeing something in me when I felt like I had lost my spark. Transferring to Solano this past year, I've never felt more at home. I remember the first few days of practice. It was over the summer, and every day when I came home, my mom would always ask me, "How was practice? How were the girls? How are your new coaches?" Every single day, I looked at her and gave her the same exact answer. "I'm so much happier." Coach, choosing to fight on your side of the court is something I can proudly say that I will never look back and regret. Thank you for giving me another opportunity to fall back in love with the sport. This truly has been one of the best years of my life, and I'm so grateful to be ending my volleyball career with yours.
On behalf of all your players, even those who have played for you years ago, but especially those who got to share your final seasons, we want to say thank you for everything you've done for us. Thank you for taking a chance on us and believing in us when we doubted ourselves. Thank you for pushing us to be better athletes and better people. And thank you for giving so much of your time, your energy, and your whole heart into this program. To be able to contribute to the legacy you have built for this program is nothing short of a blessing.
Retirement might mean you won't be yelling at us from the sidelines anymore or having your little tantrum moments, but your impact will still be here in every practice, every game, and every jersey that gets worn with pride. The foundation you've laid for the Falcons will inspire teams for years to come.
So tonight, we celebrate you, every lesson, every laugh, and every moment that made this journey unforgettable. Congratulations on your retirement, Coach Williams. We are so grateful for you. We're excited for this next chapter in your life, and we wish you nothing but joy, rest, many vacations, and a lifetime of well-deserved happiness. We love you endlessly.
So, as we hijack your meeting, one more thing. I'd like you to hear from one of her alumni who is actually on staff now, MJ Johnson, who is our assistant and our head beach volleyball coach, who would like to speak on behalf of the coaching staff. We'll join her.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello, hello. Thank God I'm facing this way because they almost got me with my tears. So, wanted to start off by saying good evening, everyone. I'm Michaela Johnson. I'm also joined up here with Coach Sammy and Coach Monica. We also have two more coaches on our staff who couldn't be here tonight, which are Coach Mia and Coach Danny. So to start off, we wanted to take a moment and talk about something really special about Coach Darla's career. And yes, aside from reaching her 600th career win, and also going on 98-1 in conference over 7 seasons, and also being a 9-time Bay Valley Coach of the Year, just to name a few. What really stands out are the people that she's impacted so deeply that they never really left. A lot of coaches build teams. Coach Williams has built a family. One of the best examples of that is her coaching staff. Every one of us standing up here has played for her at some point in her career, and now we've had the privilege of standing next to her on the sidelines. We've learned from her, competed for her, laughed with her, sometimes at her, but always with love. And yes, we probably got yelled at by her a few times as well, but also with love. And honestly, I think that goes to say how much you need to know about Darla. You don't come back and coach alongside someone for years unless they truly changed your life. And Coach Darla has been that person, not just for us standing here, but for so many players who have come before us too. She's been a huge part of our lives on and off the court, and that kind of impact does not end when the season is over. For 38 years, Coach Darla has given every ounce of herself to this school and to this program. And her true legacy isn't just in the wins or the championships, it's in the people. It's the players who once played for her and later came back to stand beside her as her coaches. It's her family, Paul, Caitlin, Nick, and her twin sister, Donna, who have given so much of their time and their hearts to this program right along with her. It's the staff who have stayed here year after year because they believed in what she built. And most importantly, it's the players, because there is no program without them. And the ones who showed up year after year, gave everything they had, and hold such a special place in our hearts, and hers as well. That's the kind of impact you can't measure in records or awards. That's the kind of legacy only a very special coach leaves behind. Coach Darla, thank you for 38 incredible years of dedication to Solano volleyball, and to all of us. Now it's finally time to sit back, relax, maybe yell a little less, and you have more than earned it. We love you and we thank you.
So on behalf of athletics, we would like to turn it over to Darla and let her speak to you. And yeah, you want to go before Darla? Oh, absolutely. So we're going to turn it over to Darla after
I
she
am
speaks.
not part of the program, but I want you all to know that these athletes, go ahead, raise your hand. How many of you have been in my chemistry class? Show off, show off, show off. So they represent also academics, not only athletics. So congratulations.
How was it? All right. Did you want to speak as well?
I'm listening.
Oh, okay. Good evening, Dr. Butler and board members. Darla has been a long-term coach who undoubtedly has a passion, strong work ethic, and sheer enthusiasm for volleyball, teaching, and coaching. I have witnessed Darla serve daily to do her ultimate best and give her all, no matter what might be going on for her. She is like the road warner down the hallway, speeding around, and I'm not sure if she can ever slow down in retirement. She has been there for her students and her athletes every day. She is a great leader, mentor, and has dedicated so much to the volleyball program in her years of service at the college. If you're going to be on her team, bring your best. She has a knack for spotting effort like it's a superpower. She's not settling for less. Because of this strong advocacy and expectation, many of her players signed at a 4-year school or fulfill another venture in life by their training on being on Darla's team. She has enriched the lives of the players, and I know they will always remember and will not forget Coach Williams, and I will not forget Coach Williams. One of my favorite moments going to a volleyball game was waiting for Darla to walk the team out of the conference room and out to the court for a game. She instilled this champion walk, strut of pride, head held high, and energetic stride as she escorted her team out to the court. Always proud of Darla and admired her signature sassy walk like she already knew the scoreboard before the game started. Darla expects teamwork, bonding, discipline, and hard work. Average never quite got past tryouts. Darla is a mama bear who is always making gift bags, banners, and bringing in treats, special cakes, pizzas, and goodies for her players. A coach who took the time to nurture and care for her players. I have to say the volleyball t-shirts were always the best, and I like to see the new designs each year. The tie-dye t-shirts were a favorite and gave off a serve. It will be a style vibe. Darla, I will miss working with you and have basically been the department's 2 women demolition crew, smashing those deadlines and getting her done. I wish you the best to start your new chapter and journey into retirement as you venture out to your Caribbean cruise right after you end your semester at the college. Have an amazing Caribbean cruise, and remember, you're officially off duty, so no calling rotations from your lounge chair. I'm going to really miss you and hope we stay in touch. Let's go party and go out dancing.
Hello, I'm Darla. I did not know these ladies were all coming, so it was a pleasant surprise. I'm Coach Darla Williams, who they're talking about. Okay, I'll just make sure I look at this because otherwise I'll get off tangent, and I know you guys got other things to get to. So I'm a community college product. I enjoyed it. I went to Sierra College and then went down to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo and went on, got a teaching credential. So when they say 38 years, I've been this is my 38th season as a head volleyball coach, but the first 14, 15 was at the high school level. This will be in May, my 37th year of teaching. I started at 24. My daughter's the only one that has a chance to beat me because she might have 40 plus years in by the time she gets to retire. So from 1989 to 2003, I was teaching in the high school. I was a high school physical education instructor and a high school counselor. So I get out of college and I said, hey, I potentially want to teach at the community college. I need to go get a master's degree. So I get my master's in counseling. And by the time I finished that master's degree, I think it was like 1992 or so, they decided that community college, you had to have a master's in the field you were going to teach. So I had to go back for a master's in kinesiology, which was a cool 3-summer program at St. Mary's, and actually where Ginger and I met. We were both in the program together at separate years. So I already got off tangent. So anyway, I was at a crossroads, I want to say, in about early 2000s and said, I cannot do high school much longer. I love the coaching, but the high school freshman boys, I'm sorry, freshman boys are so immature. So my husband reminded me, he's like, I met you, you told me you wanted to teach at community college. So that's how I searched Solano out, and I knew the coach at the time. I invited him in to come meet my team at the local high school. And anyway, he left after 4 years, and so I was able to step in. So I did come in 2003, but only adjunct until 2005. I came in full-time here. So that, to me, it still is 23 years, even though I know on your paperwork it's 21. So anyway, I started here, and like I said, this May will be 37 years in education that I'm pretty proud of. I mean, when I did my teaching credential program with my girlfriend, all these people in the teaching credential program were in their 2nd and 3rd occupation. And I'm looking at these people at 23 years old going, man, that's an old teacher. He's just getting into teaching. But I think that happens. But a lot of people, not law enforcement, like military or something, then they switch over. So people say, like, you don't look old enough, knock on wood, don't look old enough to retire. But hey, that's my 37th year. I think I've earned it. My goal is to take a vacation during the fall months. I've never been able to take a vacation from July to early December. Okay, so even Coach MJ has said, you've got to take a vacation. She reminded me, and I forgot that the day after my dad passed away, I was back here, and I didn't remember that. But obviously, my dad was fine with that because he believed in me as a coach, so he's just like, go. So anyway, so teaching, I love. I will be back, though. I'm sorry to say, you're going to see me back. I really want to teach adjunct. I'm the only one teaching in the public health AA degree in the HED1 course. I want to come back and teach adjunct. I love my husband. He's retired since 2021, but we might kill each other for home all day long together. But I've seen him get bored. So I don't want to be bored. I don't sit around very well. I move. So I want to teach public health online. And then I told the coaches, hey, I'll assist, I'll volunteer, whatever you need. I mean, these coaches go way back. Monica, I taught her in high school at Will Seawood High School. And then she was my first coach here in 2003. She's only a volunteer coach now because she's a very important nurse working with very serious patients with heart problems and stuff. So she is a volunteer coach, but her and I go way back into the 90s. MJ and Sammy both played. Sammy Brown you will hear of in the future because she's going to be a doctor. The kid got out of youth. She finished here in 2 years, which was easy for her because she came in with AP, but she finished UC Davis in 1 year and 2 quarters with her bachelor's degree. So, highest GPA. Yeah, so these guys know academics is huge. We force that. We're not going to be professional volleyball players. I mean, we have to accept that. Those girls are at Stanford or someplace like that. Education is huge. Education important. Coach and I, we really push on education. Before I finish, I'd like to thank definitely my family. Paul, Caitlin, Nick. Nick's not here. He lives down in LA. And my sister, twin sister, Donna. That's Donna. You know, they've been with me all the way. Donna started since we played volleyball younger. She was always my scorekeeper at every single game. She goes, what am I going to do? And I go, well, I'm going to still be here at home game, so you can still scorekeep. My kids, I mean, my husband, he had to give up coaching. He knew I wasn't going to. As a kinesiology, physical education, you kind of are taught to coach, even though not everybody did. So he knew I wasn't going to step away from coaching, so he had to step away, so our kids weren't in daycare till 8 p.m. at night. But definitely, as a coach, most females will know with kids, you can't do it without a supportive family. You can't do it without a supportive family. There's too many evenings we're away. And I say female, but Matt's a male. But I think Matt would agree that he couldn't do it without the support of his wife and his kids, okay? It's a toll on you because it takes Saturdays. You're looking at film. You're doing stuff all weekend, even though you're not supposed to work 7 days a week. You still have to. So I look forward to my vacations. I have 5 cruises planned in the next year. So I will be here when I'm here. Thank you. Administrators, I would say I have felt, I've always had never had a problem with administrators, the people I've worked with. I've always had great athletic directors, great deans, but it's neat to be in a position where you feel the support from administration to my deans, to our athletic directors. And like Allison said, she's heard me voice my opinion. I'm not afraid to do that. And we have to, because we're trying to always look out for these young ladies, okay, and get what's best for them. So I appreciate and thank you, and you'll see me again. Oh, wait, by the way, we just got on our beach court yesterday. First 2 days of practice. Yes. I went on a sabbatical in the spring of 2017 and came back and said, we need beach volleyball. All of these colleges are doing it. We need beach volleyball. So it's taken a while, but we got it. We got the push of the facility. We've been out there for 2 days. Today we were guarding to make sure the ball didn't get in the brand new concrete they were putting out, and we did really good. We didn't get in trouble. We didn't lose the ball into the concrete. But we will host here next Friday, March 27th, April 3rd, and April 17th. And maybe Allison or Karen can get something out to the staff, but it'd be great. I mean, you can walk out there, you can watch a half an hour, you can watch a couple hours, you can get a tan while you're out there, you know, if you want. Otherwise, bring an umbrella because it will be hot. It's been hot the last 2 days out there. So beach volleyball, that's a baby of mine. I've been wanting it for so long, so that's why it's hard to completely step out 100%. So MJ is probably stuck with me coming a little bit because, I mean, I've fought and prayed that beach volleyball would come in for a long time here. So thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations. Well,
You guys have any questions?
Well, we have
Any
comments.
questions for the ladies?
Thank you so much for being here tonight. And I hope yes, we would like to make sure you get your photo because you have everyone here
Oh, okay.
before we start. our
Okay,
meeting.
you guys. Right now? Okay,
Right
let's
now,
push
yes.
it right
There
there,
you
guys.
go.
Get up there so the
I want her to have that
trustees.
chance. Photo. And we'll just stand in the back. And we'll move on. Do you want to stand up? You want to stand up? Yeah. Bring it in. Let's see. Can you see? Where's the photographer? Can you see? But it's really important that you get in here to celebrate. Want to move it in? Okay, let's move it in and make sure here, Trustee Thurston. All right. All right. Thank you. Yes, and can we make sure we get a copy of the photo? That was wonderful. Congratulations. Now we still have to have a vote on it. So, I'll wait until they sit down and then we'll have a vote. She still needs the vote. No, I'm getting ready to call for a motion. Give him a chance. Trustee Young. All right, I think, okay. All right. Do we have a motion for the resignation to retire?
I make a motion for the resignation of head coach Darla Williams.
Yes. All right, it was moved by VP Jackie Nguyen and seconded by Rosemary Thurston to approve the resignation to retire. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, say aye. Aye. I oppose, abstain, the motion is passed. Congratulations on your retirement. A legend. Thank you. All right, the motion is passed. Now we're moving on to Finance and Administration. BP Wheat, hello, welcome.
Hello, good evening. Thank you, President Cargo-Reed, members of the board. Our first item is item 13B, the contract amendment for Salos O'Brien. This is for additional design services to help address the unforeseen chilled water leak that has occurred, which affects almost 85% of our campus. This amendment includes not only the design for a permanent solution, but for the temporary fix as well. And we ask the board to approve this amendment.
All right. Do we have a motion to approve? 13B, yes. Do I have a second?
I second that motion.
All right, it was moved by Trustee Thurston and seconded by Vice President Jackie Nguyen to approve the Central Plant Replacement Project. All those in favor, is there a discussion? All right, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Okay, opposed, abstain. The motion was passed. All right, we'll move on to 13C.
Yes, 13C is change order number 6 for Matrix HG. This is twofold for this change order request. The first is to patch some penetration holes in the central plant walls due to the new piping that we've put in. And the second part of it is to backfill the hole that's in the quad area where we had a leak. It's been temporarily fixed, so now we can backfill that hole. The permanent repair on that will happen when we do the hydronic loop repairs. And we ask for your approval.
All right, thank you. Do we have a motion to approve 13C?
Madam Chair, I move that we approve item 13C.
All right, it was moved by Trustee Anne Marie and seconded by Rosemary Thurston to approve the plant replacement. Is there any discussion? All right. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain? The motion was passed. All right, moving on to academic affairs is VP Williams. Welcome.
Thank you, President Cargo Reed, members of the board. We're presenting for you tonight the 2027-28 academic calendar. This has been approved by our calendar committee, the academic senate, as well as our faculty union. I want you to take note, you may have seen this before, but we've changed the display of our calendar. We think it's easier to read and clearer. We have to do these a couple years in advance for planning purposes and things like that, so we're asking for your approval.
Well, do we have a motion? All right. Do we have a second? All right, it was moved by trustee Anne Marie and seconded by trustee Rosemary Thurston to approve the academic calendar. Is there any discussion? All right, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? All right, the motion was passed. We're moving on to 13E, renewal agreement with Department of State Hospital, Napa.
Thank you again, members of the board. This is another clinical agreement. You see these regularly. We're renewing this clinical agreement with Napa State Hospitals to provide clinical opportunities for our nursing students.
Do we have a motion to approve? All right.
I second that motion.
All right, it was moved by trustee Rosemary Thurston and seconded by Vice President Jackie Nguyen to approve the renewal agreement with the state hospital. Is there any discussion, questions? All right, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstain? The motion was passed. Thank you. And then Student Services, VP Neely. Hello.
Hello. Good evening. Thank you, President Cargo Reed, and good evening, members of the board. So what we have before us tonight is a subscription renewal for Zendesk. This is a new product that we have been really excited to implement here at the college, essentially within our financial aid department. And what it does, it essentially provides a whole range of more efficient tracking mechanisms for us to be able to serve our students at an even higher level than we already are doing. It allows us to track their progress in real time. It allows more data points that we can collect across the department in terms of efficiencies and service and ticketing. It's a ticketing system. It also allows us to track customer satisfaction, which currently resides at 90% across the entire area. And it also has a generative AI feature that allows that helps to troubleshoot and track questions and queries off hours, right? So in evenings and weekends, which is really wonderful. And then certainly allows students to kind of check their own dashboard in real time so they can track the progress of their own financial aid packages. So it's a bundle of services that we're really excited about. We've already implemented it, so this is taking us through the next calendar year. And so we ask for your approval.
Oh. Right. Well, do we have a motion to approve 13G?
I think it's 13F, President.
I'm 13G. Oh, F.
Yes, 13. Yes.
Student Services, yes. All right, any second?
I'll second it.
All right, it was moved by trustee Honeychurch and seconded by Vice President Jackie Nguyen to approve the student work with, okay, Zendesk. Mine says 13G. Okay, so, all right, F. All right, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstain? The motion was passed. Thank you. All right, moving on to 13. All right. Yes, now we're on to 13G, Technology Services VP Corneliuson. I'm sorry if I can't say your last name properly.
No worries, no worries.
You have the floor.
Thank you, President Cargo Reed, members of the board. This is an agreement that I'm asking for approval for a database administration services for our banner system. This is a contractor that helps with those services and provides various database and system administration services. We entered into this contract last March, and this is a renewal of those same services.
All right. Well, do I have a motion?
I move that we approve item 13G.
All right, it was moved by trustee Anne Marie Young and seconded by trustee Rosemary Thurston to approve the 13G core banner system support. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? All right, the motion passed. Information items. Finance and Administration, VP Wheat.
Yes, thank you again, President Cargo Reed. This is the second quarter budget update that I'll be presenting today. We're just going off your board packet, so I'll tell you the page numbers that we're on as we're going through it. We'll start with page 131 of the board packet. This is the governor's January budget proposal. I know this was already disseminated to the board members, but I wanted to point out just a couple of things as we go through this second quarter budget update. His January proposal really relies heavily on one-time investments rather than new ongoing revenue that comes into the state. So we have to be really cautious when we're looking to the future based on where he's projecting the revenue to come from. But with that, it is a stable proposal for next year. There is a 2.41% COLA applied to our student-centered funding formula, as well as our supplemental and success rates for our revenue. One of the things that did decrease is our enrollment growth funding. There was supposed to be 1.5% each year for 2 years, and it's been changed to 1.5% across 2 years total. So 1% for 25-26 and 0.5% for next year. They are looking to do a full repayment of prior year deferrals, as well as some one-time funding for deferred maintenance and special facility repairs. Something to really keep in mind on the January budget proposal is this is just a proposal. There's a lot of legislature that goes on between the time this comes out in January and the time the May revise comes out. And then there's also some changes even after that before the state signs it into budget. So this is just a first look of where our budget may look like for next year. But it is stable. One of the things Governor Newsom has done is made sure that the community college budget stays stable. So appreciative of that as we move forward. If you go to page 134 of the budget packet, this is a note regarding the deficit factor, and this will come into play when we look at the revenue for this year. I wanted to put this in here and point this out to you. There has been a 3.04 deficit factor put into the revenue for this year. And what that means is at the beginning of the year, the state has a certain pool of money that it distributes out to the community colleges. And then they start getting data as far as success rates and completion rates and FTES. And that same pool of funding then has to be distributed differently. And it doesn't always cover all of those increases in those rates. And so they put in what they call a deficit factor, which means that they take back what they say that they're going to give us at the beginning of the year, and we have that differences in that revenue. The one thing to keep in mind is the state chancellor's office, as well as the LAO, is estimating that this deficit factor is going to go away by the time the recalculation's done. So while we have it in the budget, it's probably going to go down to zero. They did this last year as well. Remember, the second and third quarter, we were looking at quite a bit of a deficit for last year. They got rid of the deficit factor. There are some other adjustments that they made. We ended up with the surplus. So note, I am anticipating this deficit factor to be gotten rid of, or at least to be reduced quite a bit, but I wanted to point it out in our budget. If we move on to page 136 of your budget packet, or of your agenda packet, this is our unrestricted general fund. And what we have here is not only our adopted budget that was approved, but I have the first quarter budget update and the second quarter budget update. In our revenues, you'll see that it has decreased in our state revenues by about $3 million. That's that deficit factor that I was talking about. We've had some other changes in some other revenues. Overall, revenues down by 1.2 million from our first quarter. Keeping in mind, we still have that contingency deficit factor still put in there. So not only is that deficit factor that the state put in, but we also have our own safety measures put in there as well. Expenditures have been updated. You'll see the total expenditures actually went down from our adopted budget and our quarter one budget update. The main reason for that is once we hit the end of December, we're halfway through the year, we can do some better estimates of where we think that we're going to be at year end. And so we make those adjustments there, and that's what shows here. The beginning fund balance is representative of our audited beginning fund balance. So that is a true beginning fund balance. That's the change there. And our ending fund balance coming in at about 37 million. One thing you'll notice, both on this page and the next page, page 137, is that in that fund balance composition, there's still the surplus payout in that. We did pay it out already. We paid it out in the second quarter. So our actuals show in our system, but we didn't assign a budget number to it. And our budget showed just budgeted numbers. And so we're making that adjustment, and it'll show in the third quarter budget update. But for right now, it's still showing in that kind of ending fund balance and in those reserves. But it has been paid out to all of our employees. So I didn't want you to think that we didn't pay it out. We have done that. It's just sitting in a different bucket on these forms at this point. Ending fund balance, we have our surplus payout in there. We have our salary improvements from 22-23 that we're taking over 5 years' time out of the reserves. This is our last year on that. We have our technology and non-capital expense reserve. Remember, when we do have a surplus, 80% of that goes back to employees. The other 20% goes into this technology and non-capital expense reserve for when we have unforeseen expenses in those areas that we can use this with the board's approval. There's also the STRS and PERS premium reserve and our OPEB liability reserve. We have not had to touch these reserves. We've been paying them out of our general fund. Just OPEB liability, that's about $1.7 million a year that we pay towards retiree benefits. We're not having to dip into our liability here, our reserves here. We're still able to maintain that through our general fund. All in all, total fund balance over our expenses is about 48%, which is pretty high, but we know that there's some carve-outs in there that are going to go away with that surplus. Right now, our required, which is at 5%, and our remaining stability reserves about 26.76%. We'd like to stay closer to 22%, which is where approximately it will be once that surplus payout goes away. Moving on to page 138, this is our federal restricted funds. No change from the first quarter update, still the same, which in this day and age, that's always a good thing to have stability there. So happy with that. Moving on to page 139 is the first page of our state restricted funds. Little bit of changes as we've moved throughout the year, some new allocations, things of that nature. Not too much different between the first quarter and now. About $20,000 additional. I will take $20,000 any day to go towards our students. We will see some additional funds in the state on the third quarter. There's quite a few one-time funds that we're getting that got paid in February, so you'll see those on the third quarter update. One of those is the Student Success Block Grant, which we're excited about. That can help not only our students but our community as we're looking at the workforce development and what we can do to help those employees return to the workforce with some additional education and some certificates. Page 141 is our local funds. Changes there again as we hit that end of December mark, and we were at that halfway mark, better estimated what our revenues are coming in, and for this one our revenues equal our expenses, so we made those adjustments for there as well. Page 142 is just kind of an outlook on our other funds. just to kind of give you an idea of where those are sitting at. Not too many changes in those from the first quarter, but that's so that you can see where we're at. Those ones that you see a beginning fund balance of 0 and an ending fund balance of 0, those are those funds that you have, the revenues have to equal the expense. So it's called a zero balance budget. And so not that we don't have any money in there, it's just that's how it's recorded financially. Page 143 is our 3/11 quarterly report that we send to the Chancellor's office. These numbers mostly match the unrestricted fund. And I say mostly is because we have those contingencies built into our budget, which aren't reflected on this report. Other than that, this matches what we're reporting in the second quarter. Page 144 is our foundation budget update. As an auxiliary of the college, not just a standalone. We are presenting this with our quarterly reports as well. Just keeping in mind that they report actuals instead of budget updates. So they have their adopted budget and then their actuals as of a certain date. So as of December 31st, they're about 68% of their revenues have come in that they budgeted, and about 79% of their expenses have gone out. As we know, as we look at our budget updates, the budget changes and fluctuates throughout the year. So I don't want you to think we're going to double those numbers by the end of the year. That's just where they were at as of December 31st. And then the rest of the report is the index of categorical grant names to give you an idea from all of those state grants that we get, what they're used for, and how we can help our students with those funds. So I am open to any questions you may have.
Yes.
I may have a question.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you so much,
VP
VP. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much, VP, for your presentation. I always enjoy it. I do have one question in regards to page 134 when we talk about the deficit. When we talked about the deficit, sorry, I want to make sure that you all hear over there.
Yeah.
When we talk about the deficit here, you said the deficit factor is 3.04%.
Correct.
Now, is that from the governor's deficit that he mentioned back in January, which was, I thought was 2.9, or is that something different?
That's the state chancellor's deficit factor.
Gotcha.
So based on their pool of money that they have to distribute, that's the percentage that they're estimating that they'll have to pull back. Granted, that's based on that point in time when they pay our apportionments. They are anticipating that won't be in effect by the time the year ends.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Any other questions?
And this is an information item, so no need to vote. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so much, VP Wheat, for this wonderful, and the team for your due diligence and making sure that we understand the budgets that we're looking at. And I look forward to the updated in a few months, and then again towards the end of the year. Yes. Well, thank you so much for this information. Appreciate you. And we're moving on to academic affairs. VP Williams.
Thank you, President Cargo-Reed, members of the board. I'm bringing you tonight a administrative procedure update. We typically don't bring administrative procedures to the board. We generally only bring policies to the board. I'm bringing this to you because this is actually part of our accreditation work that we've been doing the last year and a half to meet some accreditation requirements that were identified in our recent visit. And one of the things that we wanted to do that we made sure was we updated our distance education procedures. And you'll notice in this procedure, there's a lot of focus on something called regular and substantive interaction. You've heard me present this in my accreditation updates. That's basically ensures that when our faculty are teaching students in online distance education classes, they're not just packaging a course in Canvas and walking away and letting the course run by itself like some online colleges do. There's an expectation, it's a good expectation, that faculty in online courses interact, provide feedback regularly and substantively to students throughout the course of their semester. So that's included in this updated administrative procedure. Interestingly, we're following some guidelines from the Chancellor's Office, and included in our distance education procedure is correspondence education. Correspondence education, by definition, is not distance education, though they've included it in this procedure, so we have included it as well. Correspondence education at Solano College is reserved for our Rising Scholars program, and that's different from distance education. In distance education, you're usually either asynchronously or synchronously interacting with students via some electronic means or something like that, so there's an opportunity to provide, immediate feedback to students. In correspondence education, that's essentially a packet of information that gets mailed, or in the case of our incarcerated students, delivered to the facilities. It's delivered to the students. They complete on paper portions of the packet. They send it back. The faculty member grades it, sends back feedback through the mail. So it's not that kind of immediate feedback. We instituted that mainly during the pandemic when we weren't allowed to go inside of the prisons, but we've been able to continue it. And this has actually allowed us to offer full degrees inside the prison because we don't have the space in our prisons to offer full in-person programs. So supplementing as much in-person as we can do with correspondence education has really been a benefit to our students. So correspondence education is included in here in our procedure. The other thing about the procedure is it highlights our local processes for certifying faculty to teach distance education courses. You can see on page 2 of the procedure, which is page 154 of your packet, the course and instructor approval process. Our faculty go through rigorous 80 hours of online training to be certified to teach distance education courses. We also have a requirement at this college, which I think is rather unique, and just in talking to colleagues across the state, we have a requirement of 6 years of annual training for faculty teaching distance education in courses or programs or training specifically related to online pedagogy, Canvas, improving your Canvas courses, and things like that, because we know that computers and technology changes. So we want to make sure that faculty don't get trained and then not continue to get updated as technology changes. Those are the basic highlights of our procedure, and I wanted to bring it to you because a lot of work went into this, and it is part of our accreditation work, and we just wanted you to be aware of all the work that's been going on to make sure that our students have the best courses possible.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this information, VP Williams. All right, any comments?
I just have one quick comment.
Yes.
Thank you so much, VP Williams, for the presentation. I really appreciate it, and it makes me feel better knowing that our distance learning students are getting the same quality education as our in-person students. I think it's very important that there's symmetry, and the fact that, just because you're distance learning, that you're getting, the same type of love, I hate for that word that I'm going to use, and the same type of care as you would in person. So I really appreciate the fact that this is going to be updated. My one question is, with these requirements here, who oversees that at all, if I may ask that question, sir?
Yeah, we have the Distance Education Committee is a subcommittee of the Academic Senate. We also have a director of distance education who oversees this, but it's essentially the Distance Education Committee and the Distance Education Coordinator. It's a faculty position, so it's faculty-driven process of creating this process, and then faculty wanting to teach online go through the training, and then they submit a Canvas shell of their own making, a portion of it, to demonstrate that they are putting this to use. And then members of the Distance Education Committee, who are faculty, will then work with the faculty to look for improvements for their shell, give them feedback, and then once the shell is deemed to be sufficiently adequate in terms of ability to navigate, accessibility, easy to read for students and things like that, once they approve that, then the faculty member is deemed approved, and then they can teach distance education courses. The courses themselves are approved through a process called the Distance Education Addendum that goes to the Curriculum Committee, which is another subcommittee of the Academic Senate. And in the Distance Education Addendum, we have a similar thing called a Correspondence Addendum for correspondence courses. And this ensures that the distance education components of a course are well thought out and meet those high expectations that you were talking about. So it's a faculty-driven and faculty-overseen process.
May I ask a follow-up question?
Yes.
Do you receive, or who receives annual reports or updated reports to ensure that everything is properly run and that there are no challenges that are being implemented?
And that's generally done through the faculty evaluation process. So when faculty are evaluated, if they teach online, the deans and the review team are given access to at least one online course, and then they go through and review those.
Thank you so much, VP Williams.
You're welcome.
Thank you for those great questions, great answers and information. Thank you.
I have a question to ask.
Yes, Trustee
Do we have
Ambrose.
anything in place where students will evaluate a course if they had it by distance education compared to if they had that course by in-class instruction when they get ready for, and that course they take as a prerequisite course for another level course? Are they very successful with the next level course if they had it by in-class instruction as opposed to distance education? Is there any evaluation by students on that issue?
So I think you're asking two questions. The students do have the opportunity to evaluate faculty in classes, and that happens during the peer review process. So our faculty are evaluated once they're established on a 3-year basis, and at that point, they're evaluated. In terms of looking at success rates in online courses, we do track the success rates of online versus face-to-face coursework. There is some drop-off in success in online courses. They are more challenging. Students typically need to be more self-directed, and faculty, some faculty need to continue to improve their courses and things like that. But we do look at those data regularly to see how students and also how faculty are doing in the courses. And I think Professor Scott wants to add to that.
Yeah, no, thank you, David. Right, and this is these trends we see actually nationwide, that online classes have usually things like 5-6% on average lower success rates. Although there are examples of some courses having as much as a 20% difference, and in some cases actually doing better. But yeah, I agree that it's there's nothing that substitutes for that in-person contact. Although the online classes for a lot of students are wonderful.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, thank you for the clarification and information, and we look forward to following this and getting the updates. Right? Any other questions, comments? All right. Announcements. Does anyone have any announcements from the board?
I just have a quick announcement. Thank you so much, President Cargo-Reed. Next month, the Solano County School Board Association will be holding on Monday, April 20th, for the Superintendent of Instruction. We'll be holding for lack of a better word, oh my goodness, an informational event where several of the candidates will be appearing. 2 of them will be appearing in person, and 1 of them will be appearing via remote. And so it'll be a Monday, April 20th, and we hope to invite everybody to attend to hear in regards to the priorities, educational priorities of these candidates and what they're hoping to do to improve, scores, test scores, and education for our students here in California. So more to come. I'll be sharing with Superintendent President Butler, but I wanted to share that with everybody and hope to have you place that on your calendar, and then more information to come.
So that's a forum?
Yes. Thank you so much. Forum.
Forum, okay.
It'll be Monday, April 20th.
You send it out, yeah, please.
Yes, we look forward to the information. Is there any idea on what time that's supposed to take place?
I think it's supposed to start at around 5:30, and then the candidates forum will be around 6. We're still ironing out all the details, and once I get that in a flyer, I will definitely be sharing with Superintendent President Butler so that she can share it with the board and with everybody.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Vice President Jackie Nguyen. That's exciting that they were able to get some candidates. Here we go. All right, and Superintendent President Dr. Kelly Butler.
Just really quickly, one announcement. We sent out a save the date for the Solano College retirement celebration. It's going to be Friday, May 8th, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Village 360. More information and details to come, but wanted to just get that date secured.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for that information. I wanted to take a minute and I wanted to talk about something that's going on in Vacaville currently with at least elementary school. They are celebrating the Neurodiversity Week, which is March 16th through the 30th, and they embrace neurodiversity. And it's one of the flyers says, we can help the world to understand, value, and celebrate the talents of neurodiverse minds by creating a more inclusive and supportive environment for neurodivergent students. And this really touched my heart because I don't recall seeing that in previous years, where they're encouraging everyone to participate with our children and students and wonderful community members who are on the spectrum. And I just thought this was wonderful. So I wanted to share that if you want to participate, that tomorrow it's called Thankful Thursday. Wear red and or hearts to show your acceptance for others. And today's challenge, which is tomorrow's challenge, go out of your way to include someone else. And on Friday, Sensory Friendly Friday, bright lights, sounds, and touch can be overwhelming. Be comfy in your pajamas. Now, I don't think any of us are going to be able to get away with that, but you can also work most of the day with lights dim and use natural light. So that might be energy saving tips too. So I just wanted to share that out, that I thought this was wonderful. It is my daughter's school that is doing this, and I saw a lot of just everyday citizens celebrating and learning more on how to understand and not just accept, but celebrate. So that'll be all from me. Any other announcements, comments? Okay. So having no more items, do I have an adjournment, a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn.
All right. It was moved by Trustee Amory Young and seconded by Trustee Rosemary Thurston to adjourn the meeting. There being no further business to come before the board, the meeting was adjourned at 8:16 p.m. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful evening. Oh, yeah. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Everybody in favor? Go aye. All right.
Aye.
Okay. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing it backwards this time, but we're adjourned now. Everybody, yes, aye.